We are in the romance novel Engaged to be Married, Chapter 14, Travel Log, May 28th. Hours pass quickly as the distance from Salt Lake City to Sacramento shortens. Reno is the next stop on the schedule. The superliner roomette is just what the doctor ordered for comfort and to finally stretch out and receive some much-needed rest. They appreciate the luxury of traveling by train now that they have acquired the berths. And they sleep very well. Emily seems able to sleep for longer periods of time, actually. They eat meals together and talk happily about the littlest of things. She's content with making Charles smile. Emily also enjoys shocking him with her unusual spontaneous comments at times. Forgetting that he is actually running away from his boring life is both their main focus. Charles doesn't yet comprehend just how much he is providing a welcome companion for Emily on her sad journey that she has embarked on. Emily's formed quite a few irrational and nearly impossible wishes concerning her companionship with Charles, but she does not fool herself into imagining such impossible dreams will ever come to pass. She just likes dreaming those dreams. Emily does wonder, though, if Charles has had any of the same feelings about her that she is quickly developing towards him. But their conversation slows down at times. Emily returns to her favorite pastime. Her attention is now focused on people watching. She comments on one man, a lonely-looking passenger traveling without any companionship. An odd, large mole sits right on the tip of his nose, and giggling, Emily wonders out loud if that is the main reason why no one is traveling with him. After her crude remarks about that man, Charles bursts out into laughing. He points an accusing finger at her, telling Emily it is wrong to say such terrible things about any person. Only the thing is, Charles had thought the very same thing about that odd man, though he would never dare voice it out loud. The conversation transitions to a discussion of several upcoming days of unlimited fun on their trip. Emily can't wait to hear what Charles proposes for outings. He has a strange desire that he'd like to suggest. So listen, I'm kind of a closet big kid when it comes to... No way, not Charlie B., Emily teases. This mature, responsible accountant is a kid at heart? Now that doesn't add up. Who would have ever guessed? Okay, enough with you. He discloses his secret. I admit it's part of me that's been suppressed for years, but here I am on a typical vacation, and so... Well, not quite typical, but wait, don't tell me. Let me guess. You want to... I know, you want to play like cowboys and Indians out in the wild west of California and ride horses. Well, that's just silly talk. No, the zoo. I like going to the zoo. Great minds think alike, Charlie. Seriously, that was going to be my second guess. Emily smiles. I'm really into zoology. Okay, then it's settled. We're going to the zoo. Hey, let's play a game of questions. You like asking a ton of questions anyway. This should be right up your alley. Emily raises her hand for him to give her a high five. Charles obliges. More along the lines of your expertise, don't you mean, dear girl? Charles needs to hear more about the game that she has in mind, though. Might you give me some instructions first? See? Questions. So, okay, we can only speak in questions, and the other one can only answer with another question. We each try to trip the other one up. No other conversing is allowed. Only questions. Questions of questions and answers with questions. It will be fun, right? Silly child. Has this game started already? A sneaky grin crosses her face. What do you think? Charles accepts her challenge. Only questions are allowed then, yes? Emily smiles. Could you be catching on? He immediately realizes it's getting tougher to play her odd little game. What do I wish to say? No. What do I wish to ask? She counters. Isn't that invading my question in a way? Okay, so what do I wish to answer then? He's stuck and borrowing time so he can think. Do you wish to answer that I'm pretty? She giggles. A cute little snorting sound slips out. So, is that what this game is really about? Charles is now catching on to her hidden motives. Do you want to say I'm really good to have around? Emily leans in a little closer, brushing his shoulder. Do you not remember that I've already voiced that I like having you around? Maybe, but what if I want confirmation that you are still happy about your offer? Oh, I am, but the real question is, are you still happy that you accepted? Would I still be here if I wasn't? She counters. I guess not, but do you know the real question here? Does it involve the word thief, like so many of your previous questions? She bats her eyes innocently. He laughs but continues. Do you have anything else to confess on that matter? If I plead the fifth, will you drop it? What do you think? Can you change the topic now, please? Gladly, if you want to get real, though. How I feel about you has always been answered, don't you think? He sets the stage for his next questions. You do? She is starting to get a little nervous as his question has turned serious. The better question is, really, do you like me? Emily frowns. The game has shifted. She knows she sends mixed signals. She is just as conflicted inside as she appears on the outside. Ever so often, she, for just a few seconds, imagines a different fate and fantasizes a future with Charles. But she knows better than to lead him on and give him any ideas. Sure, he's been kind enough to offer his reprieve from reality, but he's doing it more for himself than for me, she tells herself. He really wouldn't choose a life with her, especially if her secrets were revealed. The game is no longer fun for Emily. She needs to end it fast. What would your fiancé think about that question? Charles doesn't want to talk about Lynette. He asked the question wanting an answer, but once it was out, he knew he had crossed a line. Game over. You win. Emily shudders. Cold? Charles is more than a little concerned for the young woman. Are you, old man? Em, are we still playing your question game? Do you want to keep playing? Not really. You won, I said. I'm all out of questions. Oh, no, you aren't. Sure enough, you'll ask many more questions. Charles turns to look out the window. How would you define our relationship, Em? See, I told you, it hasn't been 5 seconds since you claimed to be out of questions. And so, your answer is? You first, you define it. Friends, we are friends, Em. Becoming good friends, I think, I hope. At least I would like to think we will still be close friends by the end of our trip. Charles gets no other response from her, so he tries again. Come on. I would like your friendship. We should just enjoy this trip and all this free time that we have. She relents. Okay. The Amtrak's intercom crackles back to life. Through the speakers on the train car, a noise comes blaring out. This hurts both their ears, and immediately Emily throws up her hands up over her ears. A super loud voice of a man comes over the spotty sound system. We'd like to crackle, Reno, Nevada, crackle. Will be 15 minutes. It blanks. To the station. It blanks. So, step. Thank you for traveling Amtrak. Finally, it's over. Passengers all look around at each other. Many shrug, and no one really cares what the message said anyway, even though it wasn't clear at all. Emily looks over at Charles as he fumbles for their tickets. She sighs. He's entirely correct about them being friends. That's all she can hope for, and she knows that. And that is fair. And although her heart is trying to tell her something otherwise, she can't help but be a little disappointed that he is being a decent guy toward her. Emily has to turn sideways while she pretends to wipe something out of her eye to hide the tear. She scolds herself for even thinking there could ever be anything but friendship between them. They exit the train and begin walking in one direction on the station's ramp, but then decide to turn and go in the other direction, not sure which way to take. Emily comes out with a heavy sigh, pointing to the long line of train cars to their right. I'm so tired of traveling on that train. Not because of you, Charlie. It's really been a nice place to visit with you. But to be completely honest, I don't want to have to live on that train for the rest of this 3-week vacation. I know we have made plans to see the world, at least this corner of it, but Charlie, 3 whole weeks traveling on a train? No? Well, what do you suggest? Charlie sighs. I did just answer you by asking a question again, didn't I? I never realized that about myself, not that I typically converse with anyone as much as I have with you in these past few days. Emily sneers. Told you. More questions. Emily has some suggestions about how the trip should go from here, but it is too afraid to ask for any other favors that might cost him a bundle more money. So a long, awkward pause puts a wedge in their conversation. He smiles and interjects his thoughts. We do have a pretty good plan laid out, you know. Emily leans on his arm and sighs. Yes, we do, don't we, darling? He could scold her, but sees the weariness in her eyes and also detects it in her voice. She's taken advantage of his kindness, but he must let it go. Charles gets another idea. Hey, you look like you need a good hot shower. That'll perk you up. And maybe a soft bed, too. And more clothes, huh? How about that? She asked. Getting new clothes and food, I understand, but a shower? How's that going to happen? Easy peasy. We're getting a hotel room. Pinch me. I must be dreaming. Charles gives her a slight hug. 2 days at least with actual beds and showers. Now, say goodbye to the nice train. Goodbye, little choo-choo train. Charles laughs, squeezing Emily around the waist. Okay, my witty one, let's go get checked into a nice hotel. I'll deal with exchanging our tickets later on. And that's the end of chapter 14 of the romance novel Engaged to be Married.